Hello, my name is Craig. Welcome to my kitchen. I'll be joining you this season of the NFL. I'm giving you my picks each and every week. Tell you a little bit about each team after each week. We'll go over my picks, talk about how the games went, things we learned about each team, and I'll give you a little insight on fantasy here and there. Start with the Thursday night game. Rematch of the failed Marion Seahawks and the Packers in Seattle. Very hard place for anybody to go win on the road. The Packers, I feel, are going to do a lot better this year than last year. They did make the playoffs, but I think they go further this year than they did last year. The injury to B.J. Raji's biceps going to hurt them a little bit, but not enough to bring the whole team down. They still have Aaron Rodgers, stud quarterback. However, in this Week 1 game, I do see Seattle beating Green Bay 24-17. I just think the home field advantage at CenturyLink Field is too much for the Packers to overcome. I do see the Packers getting a little revenge in the playoffs, however. Next game, we'll cover the Saints and the Falcons. I think it's going to be a big, high-flying offensive game. Saints got a lot of young receivers that can run around, catch balls. Kenny Stills, Brandon Cooks. Still got Marquise Colston. They got 3 running backs, Pierre Thomas, Mark Ingram, Kyrie Robinson. All can do really good things. Falcons offense is going to do a lot better. Julio Jones is healthy. Roddy White and Julio Jones, one of the best wide receiver tandems in football. I do see the Saints winning this game 31-28. It's going to be a nail biter at the end. It's going to be a big fantasy game for everyone involved. So start your Saints and Falcons this week. Game after that, it's going to be the Bengals and the Ravens. It's going to be a lot lower scoring than the Saints and Falcons. I think Ravens don't have Ray Rice for the first 2 games because he beat up his fiance. Without Ray Rice, the Ravens offense doesn't really look really good because they tend to throw the ball more, and they're better as a balanced team. I think they're going to rely too heavily on Flacco this week. I think the Bengals will squeak by with a win, 13-10. It's going to be a defensive game. Bengals have real stout defense. Ravens have a real stout defense. It's going to be low scoring. Game after that, Bills and Bears. The Bears, under Mark Trestman, their offense has looked exceptionally well. Jay Cutler at the end of last season started looking really confident. I like his confidence going into this season. I think he's going to play really well this year. The Bills have a good defense. Offense is not much. They got E.J. Manuel at quarterback, and they got the rookie Sammy Watkins at receiver this year. I believe he's playing Week 1. But you need time for rookies to develop, especially at the receiver position. I think the Bears win this one 17-10. The game after that, we got the Redskins and the Texans. I think this is going to be a big defensive game. Both offenses, they have solid running backs, solid receivers, but their quarterbacks seem to be lacking. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he made big money in Buffalo. Didn't really deserve it. He's not going to do well in Texas, in Houston. RG3, if he looks anything like he did in the first year, he'll be exciting. He'll win some games. I just don't think he has it in him to keep it up and play good. Texans defense, I think, is going to be a lot better this year than last year. Brian Cushing's healthy again. He's really unsung leader of that defense. They, of course, got J.J. Watt, who was the defensive player of the year. He's I'd say one of the best football players in the league. Definitely the best defensive player. And then they got DJ Swearinger at safety. Hits really hard, really cause problems for those quick Redskins wideouts. Redskins defense, not such big names, but still very good. They got a guy, Keenan Robinson, at middle linebacker, who is starting to be a leader for this defense. Ryan Clark, new addition at safety, is really helping this guy out. Ryan Clark, as you know, is a big leader in Pittsburgh. He's going to do the same things in Washington. They also got Jason Hatcher from Dallas, who is good up front. In the end, though, I think Houston Texans win 13-7. Next game after that, we got the Kansas City Chiefs and Tennessee Titans. I think the Titans are a dark horse in the AFC. I think they could do real damage to some teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, who aren't going to see them coming, who were probably better last year than they're going to be this year. Chiefs don't have Dwayne Bowe right away because of a suspension. So I think their offense in the first couple of games, they'll rely heavily on Jamal Charles, as we've seen in the past, can mean big things. I think the Titans defense does enough in this week 1 game to kind of quiet the Chiefs. And I think Jake Locker is going to have a breakout year. I think he started to last year, and then he had that big hip injury that kind of pushed him back because he didn't get to play. I think he's going to break out this year. I think he wins this game 14-13 with a touchdown drive in the fourth quarter. Next game is the New England Patriots versus the Miami Dolphins. The Patriots' offense is pretty much the same as last year. You have Tom Brady, of course, making all his other receivers better. Gronk is healthy, though. That's the biggest thing. Rob Gronkowski. He's a difference maker, and they got this new guy, Tim Wright. Now they could do double tight end packages like they did back when they had Aaron Hernandez. Hopefully Tim Wright doesn't end up like Hernandez off the field, just on the field. They also improved their defense. They went and got Darrelle Revis, probably just to make Rex Ryan really mad, but also helps their defense a lot better. Miami Dolphins, their offensive line is still shaping up. As you know, the offensive line last year fell apart after the Richie Incognito incident. We'll call it an incident. I don't think I need to get more into that. But their offense looks shaky. They did add Noshawn Moreno, who played really well in the playoffs last year. I think he should start in Miami, but they seem to be relying on Lamar Miller. I think the Patriots win this game 20-9. The Patriots just do enough to win the game. Nothing extra. Raiders and Jets is the next game. Derek Carr will be the first rookie quarterback this year to start. He gets to start over Matt Schaub, who set a record for most consecutive pick sixes last year. And the defense has gotten better with Justin Tuck. Got a little bit faster, but still a question. The Jets, their front seven is really good, and I think they can get to Derek Carr and rattle him a bit. Additions such as Decker and Johnson make their offense quicker, more possessive. I think the Jets win this one 16-10. Next game is the Eagles and the Jaguars. Blake Bortles is not starting, although I think he's good enough to start. I agree with Gus Bradley's decision, however, to start Chad Henne and let Blake Bortles develop underneath him. I think Bortles could be a really good quarterback in the league and eventually turn the Jaguars around in a weak AFC South division. Not yet, maybe in a year or two. They also have some young receivers like Marquise Lee and Hearns, I think is his name. Both rookies, both need a couple years to develop, but in time, believe will be really good. The Eagles' high-flying Chip Kelly offense is gonna fly all over the Jaguars in Week 1. I think the Eagles win 24-16. Next game is the Browns and the Steelers. I think Pittsburgh Steelers are going to benefit a lot this year from the addition of the no huddle offense. Todd Haley finally gave Big Ben Roethlisberger what he wanted, which is the no huddle. They have the receivers and the running back crew to pull it off, to be fast enough, and to get that up tempo offense that will get them to compete more in the fast AFC. The Browns, without Josh Gordon, don't have much of an offensive weapon, and Hoyer will not be able to do much with that. And I don't think Manziel playing for Hoyer will make much of a difference either. I think the Steelers win 17-9. The only reason they don't put up more is because the Browns do have a pretty stout defense with star Joe Hayden at cornerback, who I think is one of the best in the league. The next game is the Vikings and the Rams. The Rams kind of start off the season with a hole. They don't have their quarterback and have to play the year with Sean Hill, who we've seen before in Detroit. Kind of iffy at quarterback position. I think the Vikings offense is going to be a lot more aerial this year. They do have Adrian Peterson, one of the best running backs in the game ever. But Norv Turner, their offensive coordinator, likes to throw the ball down the field. And they have a nice young receiver, Cordell Patterson, who can run down the field, catch passes, make plays. I think that's how they're going to do it this year. I think the Vikings win 17-10. Next game is the 49ers and the Cowboys. Cowboys defense hurting a lot. They got rid of Jason Hatcher. They got rid of DeMarcus Ware. Sean Lee is injured for the year. Their defense is historically one of the worst. It's a real pitiful defense. 49ers had a rocky preseason, but the addition of Stevie Johnson really helps their offense to give Colin Kaepernick another weapon instead of just Vernon Davis and Michael Crabtree in the passing game. I think they win 21-17. Next game is the Panthers and the Buccaneers. It's going to be a close divisional game, hard fought. Buccaneers with Lovie Smith and Josh McCown. Their offense will be similar to that of the Bears of last year, where they passed it upfield to Vincent Jackson, very good downfield receiver. The addition of Alter and Werner on their defense will help make the defense stout with already a good defense. They do have Gerald McCoy, one of the best defensive tackles in the league. Panthers don't really have any wide receivers to go to, and their running backs have had better years. D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart. The only best running back they have is Mike Tolbert, who's really a fullback. So I think the Bucs win 14-10, close game. Sunday night games, Broncos and the Colts. Colts offense gets a little better with Hakeem Nicks. Broncos defense gets better with T.J. Ward, DeMarcus Ware, and Aqib Talib. I think the Broncos win 27-21. Try out the new kicker a couple times. Monday night game, Giants and the Lions. I think the Lions win 21-20. The Giants will do better than they did in the preseason. Ben McAdoo's offense will eventually catch on. The Lions, addition to Golden Tate, will help their offense a lot more. Get another guy opposite Calvin Johnson to really make some noise, and Stafford's going to have a good game in the fourth quarter. One of the best fourth quarter guys. The other Monday night game, the Chargers and the Cardinals. I think the Chargers win 17-13. Pretty similar teams right on the cusp of the end, and it's going to be a fun game. That's it for today. If you have any questions, ask me, put them in the comments. Any shows you want to see in the future, put them in the comments. Thank you. Good night.